Jeremiah, we're going to take a look at your video from camp. I'm going to let it run through a couple times. The first time will be just normal speed. Then the second time, it'll be slow motion. And then I'm going to come back and break it down, analyze it, and make some comments and some suggestions to help you improve.
Jeremiah Mccomas, 2027.
Okay, Jeremiah, we're going to come all the way back here right to the very beginning here. When we get your name, your graduation, we always ask you to hustle into the ball game. Always make a habit of that. Whether it's practice or game, just make a habit of always jogging in to get your spot marked, your point of placement there, and mark your steps off. Just it's always good to do that. Gives you plenty of time. So that's why we filmed you this way. So we're trying to catch you exactly how you're going to be doing things. So right here, you come up, you're setting your toe there, you're putting your toe there, and the holder's going to put his finger right where you show him with your foot. You've done a good job there. Jeremiah, as you're jogging up, see right here, I'm not able to tell, but as you're jogging up, just always make a habit of always checking where your target is. Okay. If you're over here or over here, you just want to glance at the target right there between the uprights, your specific target, because that's where you're going to be setting up. That's where you're marking off your foot right here. You're going to make that mark right there. You're going to line up. Everything is off of this center of that target. So where you're lining up, that's what you need to be doing. So find that target. You're going to be marking your steps directly back from that target. So once you get your spot marked, you're glancing at that target, get your spot marked, and then once you start your steps back, glance at it again. By glancing at a specific target you're aiming at and starting your steps back, you're going to ensure that your steps are going to be more accurate as you come back. So right here, it looks like you do a pretty good job here, but right here, I can see how your head's down. You start back, you don't even glance at the target. Like you're right here, right when you mark this spot, get it marked, glance right here at the specific target. Glance at that, and then you don't have to keep looking at it. Just glance at it, and then start your steps back. And I like how you start your step back with your kicking foot. See how you start back with your kicking foot? That's excellent. And you do a good job, but just by glancing at that target, it's going to help you be more precise. So glance at it, because you're just stepping directly back from it, then your steps are going to be more precise. So there's your second step, your third step, and then your feet are together again, okay? So that's a good job. And what I'm looking at here in the camera, we try to position the camera right behind you. So the point of placement's right in front of your hip there, and then there's your foot. So you might make sure all those things are in line. All 3 points, this point of placement and the target, everything should be in a straight line. Okay, so right here, now the only other thing you might consider right here is when you take these steps, you watch TV or college players, whatever pro, they'll go 1, 2, 3, and some will take even a 4th step with that left foot. They'll bring this foot right here all the way back to here. And then that's when they check their right foot. Again, that's one of your points there. They'll check it to make sure it's all in line. Okay, that's where they'll check it right there. Then they'll take that foot that's back here, step back up here, side by side like you have them right here, and then they'll start their lateral steps. So you're doing 3 steps back. 1, 2, 3. And this is fine. But if you decide to take the extra step back with this foot, that's when you it positions the kicker to kind of set back and lean back as he takes his right arm right there in his hand, and just runs right up in front of his foot, the point of placement and the target. Then he'll bring right back down to his side. Then he'll step right back to where this is right here. And then he'll begin the lateral steps. Okay? So you're all right. You're at 3 steps and you look like you're right on the money. Okay, now the camera, we're a little, you know, it could be a little bit, I mean, the camera's right behind you. Actually, if I want to be real, let's see where his finger is. Okay, right there. I can barely see the finger right between your legs right here. There's his finger right there. So we're looking at that. So right where his finger is. So you're looking to run where your foot is, right through the target. So it looks like you're lined up pretty good. Okay, the camera's a little offset, maybe just a little bit to the left. But you look like you've got things lined up pretty good right there. Okay, so now you're going to take your lateral steps. Right here, this is where you ought to check it. Check your right foot, make sure everything's lined up. And you got to pause. So you're coming right here, getting your step, and then you're going. You're not checking it. Go ahead and check it. Take time to check. And I cannot emphasize it enough. Check these 3 points to make sure everything's lined up. Okay, now you're going to do your lateral steps. And you see your head right there. I think you kind of dip. See how you dip right here, right there. See that dip? See that mark on the building? Your head drops down. Right there, that's one of the indicators to me that you're taking too wide lateral steps. So you're dipping. So right about there is probably plenty for your lateral step. And you're going that much farther off. See, right about there, and you're going that much extra. So you're really reaching. That's a reach. Just do it comfortably, right about there. And then once you do it, and see how your foot's straight down the field? That's pretty good. Keep those feet straight down the field, right down toward. If you're on the hash, they'd be going more this way. They'd be just going right wherever your target is. They're going down that direction. But you're right here about in the middle of the field, so they're going straight ahead. So make sure the feet are going that way. Now I want you to watch this left foot. I saw this on the slow-mo. Watch what you do with the left foot. Right here, you're doing your laterals. Still too wide, but look how you've already turned your foot. See how you turned it? That's just don't turn it prematurely. Go ahead and do your step. Just see how this step is here where your foot's straight ahead. Okay, do the same thing with the step here and keep your feet straight ahead. Straight ahead. Don't start doing this right here. All of a sudden now you're not as precise because you turned your foot, and it looks like your body's kind of drifted up a little bit. See, right here, we're trying to get this thing, we're trying to be right here precise, and you're trying to do a 90-degree angle. That's about a 90 right there. That's not a 90. That's not a 90. A 90, you're 90 degrees right in here. Okay? So you want to make sure that 90 degree, there's a 90, look at the goalpost. That's a 90 degree right here. That's 90 degrees. So you got to be really precise with those 90 degrees. That 90-degree angle right there. Okay, so watch your foot again, too wide. Shorten that down to right about there. And then keep the toe straight ahead. And right here, it looks like you kind of go up a little bit and turn. So we just got to be real precise on that. So 3 steps back's fine. Pause. Check this foot, the alignment. Make sure everything's aligned. Then do a lateral step right to about here. That's plenty wide right there. So that one will stop there. And then the other one ought to be a duplicate. Ought to be a duplicate. Look just like that first one. And do not turn the foot. Keep it straight. And once you get to this point, then you're going to take this foot back around, and then you're going to align this foot. It needs to be aligned with where it's going to be planting right here. So your plant's approximately right there. So let's kind of look at that. I say you almost had it. You actually had it better right here, at least closer. It still looks like it still looks like it's going this way right there. Just looking at the sole of the shoe, the bottom of your foot, that looks like where you're aiming at. It's got to be not there. It's got to be right aiming there, right where about where the plant's going to be. And right here, you even move it more. Say now you moved it back, and we don't want to sit there and move. We don't want to. We shouldn't have to do this movement. If you've got your steps right, like that's an anchor step right there. So you ought to be stay right in that spot right there. But right here, when you get back here, you kind of move it a little bit. So you pull back. So don't pull back. Stay right where you are there. Now right here, again, this is aiming. Now this is aiming about over here. We need to get that foot aiming here. What that does for you, Jeremiah, keeps your shoulders, gets your whole body, everything's going right in this direction right here. right in this direction, and your foot's going toward that ball. Okay, and you're kind of facing over here, which is kind of like you're facing like you're going to go in this direction. So your body's kind of up here is kind of turned more to go in this direction. And if you get this foot, line it right here, it's gonna make your body face more that direction. So you kind of, I'm not seeing much of your back here, and I ought to see more of your back. And now you got your right here. Now you got this kicking foot right here, and then you got this foot right here. It's back too far. And also, when you get in your stance, I want to see your stance where the back of your heel and the back of your neck, there's like a straight line. You see how your legs bend here? I want to see you leaning this back leg. You're going to have your body lean. So you're kind of like this. Here's your body going here, and it's going up here, and then your head's kind of there. And then you got your body. But I want to get you where this back leg is like a stabilizer. So this back leg, instead of right here, it needs to be right about here with that toe turned out right there. Okay? Because right now you're trying to take a jab step with your feet too wide, and it really look it is over. See, that's too wide. That's too big of a step right there. And now the back of your leg, we don't have that straight line look that we're looking for there. You bent right here, and it's all because you're kind of not in your stance well. And you want to get in your stance here. You should have, like I said, back leg, your leg, back your neck, back your heel, all the way back to your neck right here. All this ought to be straight. And then you ought to have most of your weight on this foot right here. About 80% of your weight's going to be on that front foot. You're going to kind of lean. As you lean, you'll take a jab. I like your jab. I mean, your jab, you're taking a jab. I like a jab. And it's not that big of a jab, which is good. It's just, since this foot's so far back, it makes you really have to reach out to take it. That jab should be simple, just a little short jab, and then your body's going to be leaning as you go and approach it. So we got to work on that. And then your plant step here. Now you're coming here, your drive step's okay. It can be better because once we clean this up, and I'll show you something here, just say I'll do a little comparison for you. But just once you clean this up, it's going to help you go into this drive step a little more aggressively. And we're going to work on the plant. Your left arm looks pretty good here. You got your left arm out there, but your plant now, once you look, you're kicking off the ground, and your plant foot is just too far away and too far back. And it's just your foot distance from the ball, the length of your foot away from the football. So you're too far away from the ball, and when you're kicking off the ground, the best way to help you on this is to visualize looking down at your plant foot, your ankle, the center of your ankle on your plant foot is lined up approximately with the center of the football to the side of it. So your foot's too far back. Your heel ought to be, see where that ball is right there? Your heel ought to be clear up here, up towards the front. Of course, we're at an angle right here. But your heel ought to be up in this area right up in here. And you're just too far back. So just think of that. The center of since you're kicking off the ground, that means the ball's lowered. And that means your foot has to get tighter to the ball, more up to the side of it, and also a little bit tighter because the lowering of the football causes the foot have to be up a little further. You're actually kicking the ball as if you've got like a 2-inch block. So you're just too far back, and that's kind of caused you a little bit of problem there. So we got to work on that. It's just to getting the situation in. You know how you can help yourself there is with no steps, or the no step kick will get you kind of started, but I love the one steps better. No step will just help you get the foot plate, put your foot right there, exactly where it needs to be, and then you can do those swings like we did in the warm up. But what I really like is once you kind of get that feel for it, then do the one steps, because the one steps are more simulating the actual kick, because you need to skip with it. And I'm going to work with you on that here in just a second too. So your foot's just too far back. It looks like it's going towards the target, which is good. I mean, there's some good stuff here too. I mean, I'm just being real particular. I'm trying to help you, but you're too far away, and your foot's not. It needs to go up this direction further. Okay, it's just too far back. So get the ankle, middle of your ankle, even with the middle of the football on the side. Your left arm looks good coming out to the side. I ought to come across. It's like a counterbalance. And then let's watch you right here. You got a pretty good pullback. I want to get a little more. See how your hips right here, your thigh, and your lower leg right here. See how you are? I want flexibility right in here. I want, instead of right here, I want to get that leg more back here and get this foot up a little bit more. That'll come though. That's when we get this skip step down. So right here, you've come in here. You got that arm comes across. Doing okay. The arm's doing all right here, but you're just hitting too far. You're already like right there. Your legs. You hit the ball kind of high. Your foot's not bad position. So you want that foot kind of like low, like you want that toe slightly lower than the heel. So you're close, but you're just so far back. That's why it's kind of, you're almost actually locked before you actually compress the ball. And so you'll get more power. You're able to hit the ball. You're an athlete. You're able to kind of make contact, even though you got these things working against you a little bit. And your right arm, just keep it out. Just let it kind of hang back. Let this arm just kind of hang. Let the left arm do the counterbalance. And if you watch that left arm, focus on that left arm right here. When you swing your leg, the left arm, see how it's just counterbalancing the leg. Simultaneously, it's moving across your chest as you're kicking the ball. You want to try to get all the way across the chest. But here's what's causing you a little problem too. You're a little back from the ball. You're not skipping. See how you're not skipping here? And your body's, see how your legs really doing what it's supposed to do. It's coming from here to the ball. It squares up, and then it goes up towards your left shoulder. Watch your kicking leg. It comes down and goes right up, and you can see it right over your shoulder there. So it's going right up toward the left shoulder like it's supposed to do. Now all you need to do here with that, get that body momentum, relax this. Don't get that hand back in here. Relax this arm. Just let it kind of hang down here. It's just a weight. It's just kind of, it's let the left arm do all the work. You don't want to try to help it out by coming back behind your back with this arm. Just let this arm, see how you got it bent right there? Just let it kind of, whole arm just hang. Let your hand be right there at the bottom. Just let it hang right there. And it's just a back, it lags back behind you as your left arm does the work. But you see the direction where your leg is? Now your leg is going right up this way. Okay? So skip the same way. Work on that, let that skip step go. And then you'll skip ahead of right where your body is right here. That's where your momentum's going. All your momentum's going that way. So now we just want to skip right there, slightly ahead of where you are right now. So that's left foot's just going to barely come off the ground and skip forward in that same direction. And then your kicking leg's going to come right back down to the ground. And you're going to get more power and everything. But you've just kind of, I know you pull the ball left and everything, but it's you hit it. But again, it's just your foot's way too far back. You just got to get tied up on the ball. So I know we covered all these things at camp. This was the first kick that we filmed of you in the camp. And I know you've improved a lot since then and you understand this, but it's good to go over this video, let you see some things. Good job at the camp. Okay, Jeremiah, I got a little something extra here for you. I'm going to do a little comparison. This is a very talented college kicker on the left. He just graduated, set all kinds of records, got NFL potential. I just want to share with you, I froze it right about the same point where you guys are making contact with the ball to show you some obvious things that you can work on and improve. And we've talked about a lot of these before, of course, obviously in the camp, and then we've done on some previous part of this video. But right here just kind of shows you, look at his body position at contact with that ball. Look at your foot. Look how close his foot is. And you guys are about the same size guys. Of course, I've tried to compare you exactly the same way here, but right here, I'm going to lock this up here. And I want you to watch. Look at his foot. Look how it is right here. See, he's got his foot turned in a little bit. You've got your toe so high up right here, your heel high up, your toe down. So right here, just kind of look at the foot position right there. Look at the similarity. You're too far from the football, and you can see where I was telling you earlier where your ankle needs to be lined up with the center of the football on the left on your plant foot. So here's his plant foot, and his ankle's lined up about with the center of that football. Okay, and you can see how tight he is. He's a little tighter, and you're just a little wide and just a little far back because you're kicking off the ground. Since you're kicking off the ground, that's how tight your foot needs to be. So you're a little off there. Your arm right now is very similar. You can see how your foot is almost heading locked out right here. And his is just right at lockout. He's just getting ready to strike the ball. I'll go ahead and move it a frame ahead here. You guys can see it right there. You see your foot and his foot. Your foot is straight now. I do like that. You do have your foot straight. See how his is straight? Now your arm is still pretty similar. You got this hand kind of coming in here. You bring your arm across your chest. But here's where you change right here. Look at your foot right here. You make contact. Again, you got your foot angled down too much on the right. You can see you want, and he barely just scrapes the turf. Watch where his toe on the instep right there. See how it just barely touches that top of that turf. He's scooping that way. So you want to have your foot more in that position and get this playing a little close to the ball. So your timing's a little off right here. Your arm position looks pretty good at this point, but right here, see how you're bringing your arm behind your back? See how this arm's coming behind? See how his is? Just let it lag back and let that left arm, say your left arm, both of you have good left arms. Look how he finishes his left arm, you see yours. Okay? Then watch when he hits the ball, watch when he makes contact with it. His leg continues up toward that left shoulder, and then watch this skip step. Watch his skip. As soon as that leg gets just past his waist high, his hips, his upper torso rotates, and his skip goes forward, and he just brings his kicking leg down. You're almost doing finishing the same, but you're just not skipping, and you're losing all kinds of power. So you've really got, Jeremiah, you really got to work on this skip step. And I would do one steps without a ball. Put you some kind of a mark down there, a tee or something, and do one steps without a football, and just work on your form, your technique here, and work on this skip. See how he skips right here? He's not jumping. And again, what's important too, watch his head right here. When he hits the ball, watch his head just stays low. See how it stays low? His whole body swings through, his upper torso rotates, and he just follows his skip right there. His skip just follows the motion of his kicking leg. His kicking leg's coming here, squares up, and then it goes right back up toward the left shoulder. And just watch how it does. And then the body right here, it comes right up toward the left shoulder, and then the skip follows that same direction. Right there, watch it. Watch his skip right there. Boom. Lands there, and then watch he brings his kicking leg right down. See, I don't want to see your kicking leg over here. But he's bringing his down, and watch how he finishes. He's done. Focus how he finishes. Look how he finishes. And kick as if you're going to kick in a game. Okay, so it's a great example for you right here. Now we're going to back this thing up a little bit. I'm going to show you right here when you mark your steps off here. I'll take you right here at the very beginning. Unlock this thing here. Okay, we're going to take him right there at the very beginning. Okay, look how he's positioned right here. Now let's just watch him right here mark his steps back. Here he goes, right? Okay, he's come up. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's checking his target. And watch his lateral steps. See how nice that is? Lateral, lateral. And see how his foot stays straight ahead? Straight ahead right here. Feet are staying straight. Watch him again right here. He's right here. Lateral. And look how wide. Not very wide at all. Lateral, and then watch him do a drop step. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Check it. He comes back. Lateral. Let's watch you right here. 1, 2. Okay, let's go right at the beginning. 1, 2, 3. There's your fourth one. I want you to look how precise he is here too. So here's what we're looking at. There's where his foot is. There's the target, point of placement. Look where his foot is. All three are lined up. See him right there? So he's got everything right there lined up with his foot, right to that point of placement right there. That's where his foot was. All three lined up. So no matter where you are, so you got yours, you're going to check it. Now look how wide you are right here. You're actually not as bad as you were the first, the first ones you're a little wider. So this one's actually a little better, but you see you're still a little wide. See right here? You're still dipping right there. See how your head's dipping down? So you're a little wide there, and he's a college guy. Look, he's just right there. It's real concise. That's it right there. So you're still just a little bit wide. Okay, let's go ahead and watch you on over here. Watch him as he comes over. Here's what he does. He'll do a second one the same way. They look duplicate, just exactly. They're mirrors. Then he gets here. Watch how he keeps the foot. And then watch how he does this. He'll bring that foot back, and then watch what he does with the left foot. His plan. He pivots and places it right toward where it's going to be. Right there where it's going to be. And then let's watch you right here. You turn your foot right there a little bit. Okay. Then say you gather your foot here, you gather here. Just go ahead and from right there, now put that foot behind you right here, but you do a little pitter patter right here. So let's watch him again. Watch his. He gets here, watch what he does. Puts his foot down, then he just brings his foot back and just adjust that front foot to where it's lined toward there. That's nice and clean. So I want to get you to do. So you're going to do this, and then you want to swing that leg back, and then put that foot. You got it aiming over here somehow. We got to get it aiming there. And so why don't you look here, watch how he is right. This is going to be really good for you. See, you can just see his whole body. He's lined up toward where he's going to go. This foot is going right to here, the plant. This foot's going to be going right to where the ball is. Your foot right now is here. You got to get it here. This foot's going to go where the ball is. That's where your rails are, okay? So we got to work on that. Now look at his stance. He gets in his position. Watch you right here. He's in his stance. He's in his stance right now. He's in his stance. Look at his stance compared to your stance. Look at his leg. Back of his neck, nice and straight, everything. I want you to work on this. It's not just you don't want to just lean at your waist, your whole body's leaning. See how his whole body leans? Now watch him right here. He's right there in position. He's in his stance. He's going to glance at the target. He comes right back to the holder. And watch the holder, he'll turn his head. And it takes there's 2 or 3 seconds to go on for the holder calls for that snap. 1001, 1002, 1003, and then the ball he calls it. And then watch the kicker. He'll lean and take a jab. His whole body. Watch when that hand comes up with the holder. See the hand right here? The moment this hand comes up, the kicker right here, the moment the hand comes up, he's leaning. See how he leans? He's leaning right there. See that subtle lean? And then watch his jab. Nice, clean. Look how simple a jab is. Little jab. And here's what I want to get you to get this. I want your body in this position. He's going here, and then he's going to lean. He's going to be here, leans to the jab. Watch it again right here. See it right there? He's going to lean and take a nice clean jab right there. And look how straight he is right here. Okay, that's what you hear. So you're not in your stance. We got to get you to your stance. And then here's your jab. See how I want you to say you lifted your foot up, your toe, your heel, and then your toe. Just lift it all up, just like watch him right here. Look how he does it, real subtle. I want you to work on that. You can do this, do it without a football. You can do some shadow kicks, air kicks, dry kicks, whatever you want to call them. Just nice, and there's the jab right there. Leans to the jab. Because everybody, watch how he leans to the jab. It doesn't happen simultaneously. The lean happens just milliseconds before you take the jab. And you're going to lean, take your jab. And so you're kind of going right to your heel and rolling. Go ahead. And again, this leg is just too far back. Get it up here a little bit more. And then that way you get some body lean off that leg. You'll have a little lean about like that. And then you're going to just let your back leg stabilize you. Watch how he has the back leg. It just stabilizes him. See, it's not even moving. See the back. Look at the back leg. It's not locked, but it's almost. He's just leaning on that. He's just lifting up that foot, and the back leg just stabilizes him as he leans forward. And his whole body leans from his ankle up. He leans right to the jab. Okay, so you got to really work on it. This is a great video for you. You can see you're now getting a little body lean, and now you go right to your drive step. Here's his drive step. Here's your drive step, body position. Here's his. And then you're coming right into the plant. Watch his plant. Watch his pullback. You can see how much higher his pullback. You're not far from it, But see how, look at that flexibility in his hips. His eyes, he's let this arm back here lagging back. He's taking that arm, it's going to come across. He's a little low on this side, but he finishes high like you're doing. So both of you doing a good job right here. You just got to work on that foot position on that ball. One step kicks, buddy. Keep working at it. Great job at the camp.